in the sun-dappled groves and crystal-clear streams of ancient Greece, where the air hummed with unseen life, dwelled the nymphs, divine spirits of nature, protectors of fountains, rivers, and trees. They were creatures of immense beauty and playful whimsy, but their favor was as fleeting as their laughter. To disrespect their sacred domains was to invite a chilling curse, the lure of the nymphs. This was a curse not of a monster's fury, but of a profound, unquenchable longing, a spiritual seduction that slowly drew a mortal away from their life and into the cold embrace of nature's endless depths. Our story begins with Lysander, a young, handsome shepherd, known for his pride and a growing disregard for the old ways. He scoffed at the village elders' warnings about the sanctity of the nearby spring, a place said to be a favored haunt of the nymphs. One scorching afternoon, in a brazen act of defiance, Lysander profaned the spring's waters, carving his initials into a sacred oak that shaded it and polluting the stream with his refuse. As the sun set, a subtle, insidious change began to plague Lysander. He found himself restless, his heart filled with a vague but intense yearning that no amount of food, drink, or merriment could satisfy. The voices of his family and friends, once a source of comfort, now seemed distant and muffled. His gaze would always drift towards the spring, a constant nagging pull in his mind. He would spend hours by its bank, staring into its depths, feeling an irresistible urge to simply sink beneath its surface. The true curse of the lure of the nymphs was a spiritual echo of eternal longing. The nymphs, embodying the unceasing flow of water and the endless renewal of the natural world, had been grievously disrespected. In a terrible mirroring, they inflicted upon Lysander a curse that made him long for the very emptiness of their existence. The curse was an insidious, psychological horror that slowly eroded his love for his family and his joy in life, replacing them with a chilling, unceasing desire for the cold, unfeeling solitude of the spring. Driven to despair by his own mental decline and the silent sorrow of his family, Lysander sought the counsel of a reclusive hermit who understood the ancient ways. The hermit explained that Lysander's desecration had not gone unpunished. He had offended the very spirit of the spring, and the nymphs were now slowly pulling his soul into their own cold, watery realm. The only way to break the curse was not to fight the nymphs, but to offer a profound and selfless act of atonement to the spring. A ritual to sever his spiritual connection to its cold heart. Humbled and broken, Lysander made a desperate decision. He returned to the spring alone, not to be a victim, but to confront his curse. He painstakingly removed the carving he had made on the sacred oak. He then offered a profound apology to the spring, acknowledging his arrogance and the folly of his actions. With tears streaming down his face, he offered a lock of his own hair, a piece of himself, to the spring, giving a symbol of his life to buy his soul's freedom. As his offering floated away in the current, a profound sense of peace washed over him. The icy pole left his soul, and the obsession was replaced by a sense of melancholic gratitude. The lure of the nymphs was finally broken. Lysander lived the rest of his life as a quiet, respectful member of his community, forever marked by his ordeal. He became a guardian of the spring, teaching others about the delicate balance between humanity and nature. The legend of the nymphs endures as a grim reminder that some curses are not brought by a monster's strength, but by its insidious psychological hold, and that even the strongest man can be drawn into the cold embrace of eternal longing. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.